Let's get this going right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What up, beautiful people? Welcome to another edition of the Pickup Game live on the Jeff J Says YouTube channel. You getting this anywhere where you can live stream sports content. I am Jeff Johnson. On my right, your left, stage right, stage left, whatever have you, my guy Shawn with a W. And this is a special edition because we've made it to the other side. I saw the sun rise in the east, which meant we lived through another day. I didn't know if that was going to happen after Knicks Sixers game 6, but we are here. The New York Knicks have eliminated the Philadelphia 76ers in 6 games to make it to the second round of the Eastern Conference semifinals. My gosh, you all right with that?
Son,
Right
my camera is still trying to recover. I'm all blurry and shit. I'm trying to move around. Hold on a second.
Yeah, do your thing.
Hold on, I'll figure it out.
Oh, there it is. There it is. We're locked
in. There we
We're
go. There
locked
we go.
in. Yes,
Let's
sir.
go.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
So your camera looked like how I felt this morning. I was like, yo, we're going to get up. We're going to launch this joint at noon. We're going to go through. Open my eyes. It was 11 o'clock, brother. It was 11 o'clock. Yeah. Shout out to my wife. She let me sleep because she already knew I was up too late. I was nervous the whole day. Just anxious because I was ready to go at 9 o'clock. But yeah, the Knicks, 118-115, win the series 4-2. I had Knicks in 6. I did not want to be correct because I wanted it to end in 5, and it should have ended in 5. But we not gonna talk about the rucker, as Shawn would say. We're not gonna talk about the rucker, but we wanted it in 6. I called it in 6. It happened in 6. Yo, what's your first thoughts, man? After this series, what is your first thought?
I'm trying to find. Oh yes, here we go. 109. All right. OG Anunoby does that dunk, and we all know what dunk we're talking about. The dunk. All right. 2:43 left. 109-101. And I'm trying to make sure this mic's because I want y'all to see that picture. So the funny thing is this. Let me go get this shit. Hold on.
Yeah, do your thing. While I send this tweet over to the fans and everybody tapping in with us as we are on Twitter /X, whatever you want to call it. So,
all right, I'm gonna tell a bit of a story.
Yes, sir.
All right, this was a Father's Day present from my wife. This is a picture of me and my son Zach with an H. This was actually taken at the Wells Fargo Center in 2022.
That's fire.
And she took a picture. She got a canvas made of, and it stays right there. And the Knicks lost that game. That was, like I said, that was 2022. So that was the thumbs down season, all that shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go back even further. November 2019. So for those who do not know, I lived in Philly for 4 years, me and my family and I. And November 2019, we went to see the Knicks at Wells Fargo Garden, as will now be known from all time. And yeah, went to a game. And this is, like I said, this is November 2019. So this is Julius, Frank Ntilikina, RJ, Marcus Morris, like Elf, that team. We were up 78-60 in that game in the third quarter. No, 78-60 in the third quarter. And funny thing is, that game was a precursor of what was to come because there was a bunch of Knicks fans in the building. And when we scored, we were hooting and hollering, whatever. I forget who it was. Someone took a 3, and the 3 didn't go down. I was like, yo, that would have put us up 22, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know what happened, but ironically, when I mentioned this guy's name, you're going to laugh. Then one Long Island's own, Tobias Harris, turns into prime Klay Thompson, and he cooks us. They end up winning the game. They win it comfortably, and the entire crowd, with about 30 seconds left, started chanting, New York sucks. New York sucks. New York sucks. And I remember listening to that and I said, one day I will have my revenge. One day. Ladies and gentlemen, that day is today. That day is today. Because you know what's funny? Everyone talked about Game 5 and how it was making the comparisons of Maxey to Reggie Miller in 94. See what the casuals, but the casuals and the Knicks haters and the slanders don't remember is that the Knicks won Game 6 and sent Indiana home. That game, so fast forward to again, OG Anunoby driving dunk, 109-101, 2:43 left. And I'm like, say to myself, all right, I can't do this again. Like Game 5, I can't do this again. Please, just I was like, at that point, it was like,
Facts.
I said to myself, it's funny, I said to myself, if we score 100, if we get to 116, we win. If we get to 116 points, we win. And of course, the Knicks decided to completely start throwing up on themselves again, and then it became 109-108, I believe. 109-108. And I was like, I cannot do this again. And it was, shout out to Bankai, because Bankai said he tweeted his picture, long-term storytelling. And it was a picture of Jalen Brunson in the corner, Game 6 of Miami, not passing to Josh Hart, top of the key. And then last night, Brunson making a pass to Josh Hart, top of the key. Like, this was the first round series I'll never forget for reasons good and bad. But hey, we made it. I had Knicks in 5, and it should have been in 5 if Mitchell Robinson, who I love, doesn't leave his feet. But hey, here we are. We move. We're on to Indiana. We are on to Indiana.
Yeah, man, and to show everybody, let me tap in with this real quick. What we're talking about. This is what Bankai, shout out to Bankai, what he posted with the one on the left was the infamous Jalen was looking for help, couldn't find it, turned it over, and the one on the right, you already know. That's how we ended the series. And like I said on Twitter earlier, they finished the story. That was the story of last year, and they finished their story, and now they're on to the second round. But like every great story, when one story ends, another story begins, and now there's a new story to start in the semifinals. I gotta shout out Nick Nurse, Shawn, because if anyone for anything, this man, I think eloquently encapsulated what the hell this series was on. What the hell this series was on. I'm gonna play that for y'all right now. We gonna get. Actually, do I like that? Do I like? Shout out to StreamYard. Let me see if I like this view better. I'm gonna rock with this. All right. I'm gonna play y'all what Nick Nurse said when they asked him about adjustments prior to Game 6 about this series.
Which of those sort of worlds you're living in?
I've decided nothing matters. They kill us on the glass, it goes down to the buzzer. We kill them on the glass, it goes down to the buzzer. Joel scores 50, it goes down to the buzzer. Brunson scores 47, it goes down to the buzzer. Tell me what matters. And when everybody figures it out, let me know. I mean, it's all teams you can talk about. But it seems that to me that these are two teams just fighting their guts out no matter what thing may appear to stand out. I don't think it really is, to be honest with you.
Bro, nothing matters. Nothing mattered. Nothing mattered in this game. The Knicks went up 33-11 in the first quarter. And I said, wow, y'all love us because y'all knew we wasn't trying to stress. We wanted 4 quarters. I wanted what happened to Milwaukee to happen for this game. I know Pacers fans had their feet up. You know, they make their fake run to cut it to like 12, 13, and then you push it back up to 20. I thought we were in the mood for that. 33-11. Get it to 36-22. Then Buddy Hield, who has scored 2 points more than me and Shawn in the series to this point, turns into, what did they call him, Bahamian Steph Curry? Like he was Caricom. He was Caricom Steph Curry.
Yo, big up Caricom, yo.
He turned into Caricom Steph Curry, right? And went nuts. 70 points. Nothing matters. The Sixers go up 10 in the third quarter. Look like they have firm control. Knicks come back. And after 3 quarters of what we saw in the first, the second quarter, the Knicks were outscored 32-15, I believe. If I have it right. 32 to 15. 32-15, they were outscored in the second quarter. After 3, the score was tied. Nothing matters. None of this matters. Dante DiVincenzo shows up to the first round of the playoffs and goes nuts and gets countered by Buddy Hield. Tyrese Maxey had 2 points at halftime. Nothing mattered until the fourth quarter. And what did matter was one team was more poised, one team wanted it more, one team out-hustled, and one team made one more play than the other. And that's what the Knicks did. Here's a stat for you, Shawn, that's crazy to me. The net rating of this series in 6 games was 1. The Knicks scored 650 points throughout 6 games. The Sixers scored 649. This was as even of a series, given everything that happened with both teams. This was as even of a series as we've had. And I don't know how you feel, bro, but I gotta think back in terms of non-final series, last 10 years. This might be up there. Taking Knicks hat off. Just talk about just a fan, especially fans that didn't have skin in the game and was just enjoying basketball. Mm-hmm. This definitely was the best of this year by far. By far, this was the best first round series easily. By far. And I think over the last few years, I think about Denver, Utah in the bubble because they were going at it.
Yes.
Denver, Utah in the bubble. Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell going crazy. But past that, man, I might, even in the last 10 years, other than 3-1 lead 2016, it's up there with some of the best. For me, one of the best series that we've watched, given everything. What do you think?
Absolutely. Shout out to, like you said, those who did not have skin in the game enjoyed this series. Unfortunately, most people have skin in the game because even if you're not a Knicks fan or a Sixers fan, there's so many people that roll out of bed to hate the Knicks for no good reason. So congratulations to you for depending on the Philadelphia 76ers for joy. This is clearly one of the best. This was the best first round series. You know, it's funny when we try to tell people the NBA is better when the Knicks are good, and they say, and then people say that's not true. What are you gonna say now? What are you gonna say now? The NBA is, listen, when certain teams are playing, they bring, listen, the NBA is better when the Lakers are good. Period. End of story.
Is what it is.
Period. If you could beat, I say the Lakers fans are the worst fan base in the league. They are haram on all levels. But the NBA is better when they're good. But yeah, this first round, because this first round has been pretty weak. After this series, and then there's a space, and then there's Magic Cavs. You know, I think that's second.
Clippers. Mavs.
Clippers, Mavs, but that's watching not Russell Westbrook, James Harden do James Harden things in the playoffs. So, we move. But look, at the end of the day, like you said, the Knicks, Tom Thibodeau has a quote, push through the pain. The Knicks made one more play than we had to, than they did. The Knicks got to the offensive rebounds. They pounded the glass. Jalen trusted his teammate. Even because Jalen had back-to-back threes, and one of them was Devo was near the basket and threw it out to Jalen for catch and shoot. It's like, yo, that's someone who's been playing basketball with someone for years. And there's something, and although the last thing I'll say is, and I got to get up out of here, but the last thing I'll say is, people don't realize there is as many jokes that people like to make about the Knicks haven't won anything in 50 years, haven't won a championship since 1973. there is championship DNA on our roster. There are guys with rings on their fingers, multiple rings on their fingers. Now, yes, I am not going to say that winning the NBA championship is on the same level as winning the NCAA tournament. However, what I will say is those guys have been in situations where they made plays to win championships in one-game scenarios, right? And because remember, NCAA tournaments one is survive in advance. Like we have guys on this team that know what it takes to get across the line down the stretch, and that is what got us across the line last night. And unfortunately, the other team doesn't have those guys. Although I will say this, the way Knicks fans feel about Tyrese Maxey is the way the rest of the NBA wants us to feel about Trae Young.
Ooh. That's a bar. That's a bar. That's a money bar right there. Shout out to Blood of the Panther who said this is a rich panel. He said it's a rich panel. Can't beat the rich talk. Can't beat the rich. Nah, it's not. It ain't me. It ain't me. Shout out to E. What's up? What up, E? Let's go, Knicks. Forever Knicks. Good morning, gang. Let's go, Knicks. Shout out to
Let's
you,
go, E.
JJP. Throw the laughing emojis because you already know we're going crazy. Before you get out of here, Shawn,
yes.
let me ask you, how did you feel about the dark money that infused Ticketmaster to purchase tickets in order to keep what would forever be called Knicks fans invading Wells Fargo? I've coined the term January Sixers because they treated us like we were storming the Capitol and they tried to keep us out. How'd you feel about that?
That was, if you needed any more proof that this is the best fan base in the league. And now listen, granted, there's a lot of, it's funny, Blood and Panda talks about rich panel, but like New York has a lot of money. And it's just unfortunate that they were playing a playoff series an hour and a half away by train for a fan base that is starved. I saw a Instagram video this morning that says Knicks fans are the closest thing America has to English soccer. Like,
yeah.
Because we will travel. And listen, this is 20 years of dark. This is climbing out of 20 years of darkness. We will travel everywhere. The funny thing is, I don't think they had to really do that. I don't think Mike Rubin really had to do that for Thursday, because that Thursday night at 9 p.m., that was tough. Like Sunday at 1 o'clock, yes, that was going to happen. Like you could go to the game, get on the train, and go home. You don't got to take off work if you work a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. Like you don't have to do that. Thursday night at 9 p.m. and Adam Silver, I see you. 9 p.m. start on the East Coast. I see you.
Yeah. Old school NBA Finals times.
True
for
story.
The first round.
For the first round. But that is a testament to the power of this fan base. Now, that's probably not going to be necessary in Indiana. It may be necessary in Boston. Knock on wood. But now listen, Boston's going to hold it down. They're going to hold it down. But that is a testament to this fan base who committed to this team through thick and freaking thin, that had to happen. And shame on Philadelphia for not having your building sold out. But you know what? I think they knew this team wasn't it, and they said, you know what? Better them than me.
They told me that. They told me that when I was in Philly. That's why when I made the comment on Twitter where I said it's on the Sixers for putting a compelling team, I'm not saying that Maxey and Embiid ain't compelling, but let Sixers fans tell it, at least the ones I spoke to, they were just waiting for the end. I saw a comment that said Embiid don't want to be here, so why should I? I'm selling my ticket, right? When we were in there in Game 4, Shawn, we had an away section. For those of y'all who watch soccer, we had the side with the Knicks visitor bench, from the back of the bench all the way to the right was Knicks. It felt like I was in Wembley. It was it was legit crazy. And they showed up this game. They showed up. The Sixers fans showed up more. But I will say, and then you get out of here, Shawn, I hope, and I said this, and I'm dead serious, I hope the Sixers owners keep this going for the first responders next season, next playoffs, and they buy those tickets out, because it would be a shame if this was just a gimmick, a performative gimmick, just so that you could win a basketball game, when you could do a lot more with that money than buy some tickets so that your building won't be flooded with Knicks fans. I just would love to. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it.
So would I, but capitalism rules.
No doubt, no doubt. And one more thing, and you know, I'm not gonna hold you, but we're holding you. Drop the next live at the Mecca date, brothers. They asking, the streets are literally asking you, Shawn. What's up?
It looks like Sunday. I'm gonna have to pull double duty because we're gonna do study hall on Sunday also. But hey, listen, I will talk basketball I will talk Knicks all day, because listen, Cornfield Campazzo, it is time. They told me this dude was a superstar because he won an IST semifinal. They said he was clear of our guy. They said he wasn't a star, but that guy was. It is time to pay the rent. Indiana, and shout out to you Nickiana Pacers fans that was shaking ass for that team. We ain't forget. The
At
receipts.
all.
We have the receipts. I am ready. I am like, if you watch the end of New Jack City, you know the vibes. I want that game so bad. Fill in the rest.
There it is. All right, y'all. That is Shawn with a W, tapping in with us on the pickup game, brother. I will see you later. Thank you for tapping in with us. All right, y'all. And we're gonna keep it going. I'm here for a few more minutes, and then I gotta recuperate. I ain't gonna hold you, because that game took a little bit out of me. Bruh, I was like, voice was scraggly, head was hurting. It was really crazy for me. But we are here, we're back. I want to share as we take a look. Let me get this on.
It is the Knicks and the
do this. Well, I'm gonna talk a little bit about Jalen Brunson, bro, and the way this man has elevated into, no doubt about it, superstar status. All right, I'm gonna read y'all some stats. I'm gonna run off some of his stats right now. 2 40-point, 10-assist games in the NBA playoffs this year, both by Jalen Brunson. 7th player in NBA history to record 40-plus points in 3 consecutive playoff games. 5th player in NBA history, Westbrook, LeBron, Kareem, and Giannis, to average a 40-point double-double over 84-game stretch. Brunson is the first player since Michael Jordan in 1993 to have at least 37 in 4 consecutive playoff games. Listen, man, you can't spell 1A without Jalen. You can't. At this point, this man literally is going from undesirable to undeniable, all right? They said his contract was too rich for their blood. They said he was an overpay. They wanted him to put lifts in his feet like Kai Cenat in order to justify the level of his greatness. And all he did was show up. Had a rough first 2 games, said it's on me, I'll be back. From game 3 on, this man put the team on his back and has done nothing but play spectacularly. This is what he does, man. And Knicks fans, this has been our prince who was promised for 2 decades. We've been looking for this point guard. New York is a point guard city. And we got it. We got it with Jalen Brunson. The game ball goes to the Villanova boys. Yo, Josh Hart. Shout out to my guy, Josh Hart, man. This dude put up an only Josh Hart ass stat line, right? He averaged 46.3 minutes per game, averaged 43% from 3, and averaged 40.5 field goal percentage. This is Josh Hart. Like my guy Kaz said, he is the Carmelo Anthony of Draymond Greens. And he just wants it. He just wants it more than any other team. This dude, you look at his stat line, man. Like he just gets it. He just gets it done. He had 16 points. He had 14 rebounds. He had 7 assists. I ain't even realized that. That man was a few away. He was 3 assists away from a triple-double. 3 assists away from a triple-double. This is the type of work this dude has been putting in. +7 overall. This dude redeemed himself for those free throw misses with a clutch 3-point shooter. And this series, if you think about it, there was no other fitting way for this series to end other than on a Josh Hart 3 who was shooting 40% from 3. The numbers, even when he was left wide open, they picked their poison, and Josh Hart fed them hemlock slowly on an IV drip until it came crashing down for the Sixers in that fourth quarter, and he clinched it. One thing I like about this team is they adapt. They adapt to whatever situation. They had a lot go wrong for them in game 5, a lot of mental errors that cost them that game. And you saw the immediate adjustments, how they were playing Embiid. They weren't doubling straight off of Maxey, one pass away. They made a concerted effort to shut down Tyrese Maxey as best they can, which is why Dante, for his defense, his offense was a welcome sight. I knew they weren't going to be able to close it out without a Dante DiVincenzo game. 5 of 9 from 3, 23 points. This was the type of work that he was putting in the regular season when he had to step up. And he put that in now. And he played the whole game. If that isn't a bill of confidence from Tibbs, he played the whole game. And the work that he did on Tyrese Maxey, it speaks for himself, man. For Tyrese Maxey to have 2 points at halftime after what he did in game 5, and Maxey ended up 6 for 18, 17 points, 4-4 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. It's definitely a few steps down from his heroic performance in game 5. And that was because of Devo. He was on him the whole game, for at least for a vast majority of the game, because Maxey played 42 minutes and Devo played 48. This is the type of work that he was putting in. And they needed his offense, especially in that first quarter, because, of course, the way this game played out, they needed that 22-point cushion. The way Buddy Hield decided to go crazy, and they went on that 8-0 run after Embiid sat. They finally got positive non-Embiid minutes. Everything happened in this series. It felt like every single scenario. You had collapses on both sides. You had role players stepping up. You had the stars showing up. You had everybody complaining about fouls, and I think it's hilarious. I think it's really funny right now how now Brunson is the poster child for foul baiting. This is the cope that we're getting from Sixers fans and from people who swore the Knicks were going to lose, and I love it. It fuels me. It empowers me to go about my game. It makes my skin clear. It makes me feel younger. It makes me feel like I can dunk off of a 12-foot basket. That's how much I love it. Like Jesus Nice, Jesus said, the superpower of being a Knicks fan is that people hate when you're happy and you could derive joy from it. That's what I like. And this is what they're going to have to cope with, because the Knicks are on to the second round. Shout out to my guy Brandon Ray in the chat. He says the chemistry is undeniable. They can't break it up either. They're going to have to be careful with the way they construct this roster and what additions, if any, they make going forward. This is why Julius Randle's injury was a future problem too, because they wanted to see with this team how far they could go, what was the makeup, and it would inform how they move going forward. Now with Julius not there for a postseason, we don't have a holistic view of what this team actually could be. I think they still need Julius. Personally, I think you build on the margins unless a can't refuse deal gets put on your table. I think you build up your bench and you run it back. I think they've earned it at this point, especially if they go as far, depending on how far they go, you could make the argument that they're built for success. They'll have OG for a full season because he's going to resign. They'll have Devo. They'll have Josh Hart. They'll have Randall back 100% healthy. Still have Mitchell Robinson. May be able to sign Precious to another deal. And then they're going to have to upgrade because, unfortunately, I don't think Bogey's going to be back. But we'll see, right? So, yeah, I do think they're going to have to be really careful. They're going to have to be really careful with how they build it. But you know what, Brandon? We ain't thinking about that right now. We ain't thinking about that right now. We thinking about the today. We're thinking about the today. We're thinking about the Knicks. They out of here. They got the Sixers out of here. Oh man, them blocks spin on the timelines and in my messages, in my DMs from all my boys. Shout out to all my boys. I ain't gonna even name y'all. I'm gonna hold y'all down. But shout out to all of y'all who popped up like roaches, wiping the coal out your eye when this team won 2 games and said that the end is near. Not for us though. Not for us, man. And you know, that's why I tell y'all, man, as a fan, it's 2 sides to this humility thing. You can talk big when you win, but you're gonna have to eat crow when you lose. You get humbled when you lose, but only one team is winning this. That's why Knicks fans celebrate the way we do, because we know at any point we don't know when this ride is gonna end, but we're gonna enjoy it while we take it. We're gonna enjoy it while we take it. Y'all can act like y'all have certain standards and championship standards. There are teams, talk to the Suns from 2021 about what could happen in going down the line and whether or not this is promised. Talk to the Nets from 2021 and ask them if tomorrow is promised. You better appreciate it today. Shoot, talk to the 2021 Milwaukee Bucks. Ask them if tomorrow is promised. You better enjoy today. Real talk. Shout out to Knicks in 6. Thank you for your comment. Shout out to Tibbs. When they say adjustments and bouncing back from a heartbreak loss, that's what this was. Gutted Philly. Give them milk of the poppy. Go, Jeff. Go. Thank you. Yeah. Tibbs was in his bag, man. Tibbs was in his bag. I can't even hold y'all. Tibbs was in his bag. This man put in the work. This man put in the work and was able to make the key adjustments necessary. The key adjustments necessary in order for this team to succeed. That's just what it was. When you take a look at his defensive effort, when you look at the adjustments that they've made game to game, you got to pay homage. He pushed all the right buttons. They learned from their mistakes and they was able to move on. So shout out to Tibbs. And you know what? Let's have a dialogue about this Tibbs running his players into the ground. If you're a Knicks fan and people try to pull narratives on you, the narrative era is over. Show your work or don't show up to the conversation. Tibbs wore these guys down. Show me where. Because I looked on those games. I looked at that game 6. I looked at that fourth quarter. There was one team that was well conditioned and better conditioned than the other. I watched guys who they didn't seem like they were slowing down. No huffing and puffing, no laboring. You practice how you play. If you practice and you fool around, you're going to fool around the game. If you freeze up on stage and you don't keep going, you're going to freeze up during an actual competition or an actual performance. This is what these dudes do. They prepare. Preparation is their superpower. They prepare for every scenario that we see, which is why when the whole not fouling Maxey in game 5 happened, it was shocking to all of them because they are prepared for those moments and they just had a lapse. This is just what happens, right? And they were able to bounce back. They knew we're not trying to come back to New York for game 7. We're not going to be on the brink of elimination. We have these guys on the ropes. They're forming the Legion of Doom with their fan base to try to keep Knicks fans out. Like this is where we're at. This is where we're at this point. This is what they needed to do. This is what they strived to do. And none of it worked because the Knicks were the better team. I wonder if Paul Rudd, I feel like, is that the Ant-Man? Is that Ant-Man? That's Ant-Man, right? Paul Rudd is Ant-Man. I'm wilding. Paul Rudd is Ant-Man. What? Paul Reed, excuse me, not Ant-Man. I apologize, Ant-Man, not you. Not Anthony Edwards and not Paul Rudd. Paul Reed, excuse me. Shows a lot that I forgot this man's name. He said this would be the easier path. And My guy Jerry Ferrara said it funny enough. There might have been the easier path because Celtics would have got y'all out of here in 5 instead of 6. So he probably was right. I want somebody to ask Joel Embiid if he still thinks they're the better team. Still thinks they're going to win the series. I don't want you to tip your cap. Keep your cap. Because all you was doing was capping. You was lying to yourself. They broke that team in game 2. They let them off the hook in game 5. And they put the stake in their heart in game 6. Knicks broke that team. Knicks broke that city. Yo, they was talking about Knicks fans on local Philly TV like we were insurgents. Like we were an invading army. We were the barbarians. I'd be surprised they would start calling me Anjin for my Shogun folk. They started calling me Anjin. Because they thought we were straight pirates out there. The way they were mobbing. The way the Knicks fans were mobbing. The way we took over Wells Fargo Garden. Wells Fargo Square Garden. The way we took it over. I don't even know if I can go back to Pennsylvania. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I may not be able to go back. My in-laws are sending me video like, yo, they got you all over the news. I already told my guy CP, like, yo, bro, give it 90 days. Ain't gonna have to forget. That's how crazy it was. Only this fan base, only this franchise. This is how we give it up, man. And each and every one of you Knicks fans should celebrate, have pride in your team. It's been adversity this whole season. And that's why I stood 10 toes. That's why I didn't fold. After game 5, I was hurt. I was tweeting through it. I was trying to put on a brave face. Yeah, I was pissed. I ain't gonna front. But I knew if any Knicks team in my lifetime had the mental fortitude and the grit to make this happen, it was these dudes. It was these dudes. When somebody shows you who they are, you believe them. I believe this team. I believe that they would go back to their old stomping grounds. The Nova Boys put more banners in the rafters of Wells Fargo than the Sixers have. Let's talk about it. This was familiar for them. This was a business trip. I believed them. I knew they would hold it down. One way or another. It just depended on how much they wanted to stress us out. Were they going to do it in 6, or would we have to be in MSG pissed off? Pissed off. Like we were mad at our kids for not doing something, or our friend who told us they'd be there in 5 minutes and 5 hours later, they'd be there in 5 minutes. And we'd just be angry. And even if they won, we'd just be angry that they put us through this. But I knew they would handle business. That's what they do. NBA Whisperer, what's up? What's up, fam? You're Jeff. Oh, Daddy Blanco. Yes, sir. I know you was up with that OG dunk. Bro, I need that OG. OG's dunk needs to be somebody's album cover. Shout out to Randy. He made it a parental, put the parental advisory label and put it in black and white. I need that on a shirt. Baka back pages. Hold me down. I need that dunk on a shirt. That was like Father Stretch My Hands. That was one of those Father Stretch My Hands, Dilate, all of those classic memes. It won, bro. But I was pissed because that should have been it. That should have been the last demoralizing shot. And of course, Philly decides to come back and pressure. And Buddy Hield hits another 3. And we had to deal with that. That's why it took a little bit away from me. It took a little bit away from me. But that dunk is going to live forever. OG, listen. OG was acting unusual, bro. Like, that man showed more emotion in Game 6 than I probably seen in his whole career. He was hyped. I ain't seen him this hyped since he hit the game winner in the bubble. That bro was hyped. He was ready. They were ready to go to the next round. This is what the Knicks do, man. This is what the Knicks do. And they won this game. They won this game. Bruh. It was, I want to say, 36. 42-5 in bench points. The 76ers scored 37 more bench points. That has to be the biggest disparity of the series. 37 more bench points than the Knicks. But the 5 they got out of Deuce, Sixers were up 1 in the 4th quarter. Big shot by Deuce McBride to put the Knicks up 2. Devo, a shot in the 3rd quarter when it was 61-71 and it looked like the Sixers was ready to try to run away with it. He hits another shot. big shot to try to snatch back the momentum. Nothing but clutch plays this whole time. And the Knicks represented, man. You got to be happy. You got to be hyped if you are a Knicks fan right now. Even looking at some of these numbers, this is just Nick Nurse said it right, man. Nothing mattered because everybody showed up. Now I gotta give some love. I know we was annoyed with him. I know he was doing some dirty stuff, some real wild shit throughout the whole playoff run. But Joel Embiid, it felt like that man was disintegrating as if Thanos snapped him, and he was still balling as if he's just disintegrating piece by piece by piece. That dude was balling out. He showed up more often than not, and with all his ailments and all the talk about he always be injured and whatever, he did everything he could to dispel that narrative about him, and he showed up. And 50 points, dropping 50 points, dealing what he dealt with. I gotta show respect. I definitely gotta show respect to that. Enjoy Cancun. I heard there's nonstop direct flights from Philly to Cancun. Enjoy that. You talked your talk. And he a wrestling fan too, so he knows the Pro Bowl game can come back to you. And so, enjoy that. But I gotta give respect to him. Tyrese Maxey, you created and earned a legion of support in New York after this playoff series. That dude is a dog. Super cold. Super cold. He showed up and he showed out. Like that dude right there, you got your respect for a reason, man. When even among the midst of all this foul call and all this foul talk, you held it down and you kept the main thing. So salute to you. I'm gonna put some respect on Kelly Oubre's name. Tsunami Papi is a dog, bro. Tsunami Papi. I did not think he was gonna be as much of a factor as he ended up being. He showed up. He showed why the Sixers signed him and wanted him a part of his rotation. He used all of the experience he's had over the years in the league, and he showed up this series, man. Like, he hit key shots. He made key defensive plays. I didn't know he had it like that in the defensive sense. On the defensive end, like that, bro was doing his thing. So shout out to him too. Shout out to Buddy Hield, because they needed you in that. For you to only drop 2 more points that I did in the series and to show up in game 6 and give that team a chance to win. And can nobody hate on you, man? Can nobody hate on you? And Nick Nurse was going band for band with Tibbs on these adjustments. Band for band. He showed why he's a champion. Like that, those guys was representing and they ran their scheme. So I gotta give those shout outs to them. But it's Knicks in 6. It's what I predicted. You get these right sometimes. I wish I was wrong and it was Knicks in 5, but we get these right sometimes. Knicks in 6 advance against the Indiana Pacers. Game 1, Monday, 7:30, I believe. It's going to be on TNT. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. I'm going to think about it before I give my prediction. I'll let y'all know. But yeah, we got a whole other slate of NBA action coming up and can't wait. I'm ready for the rest of the first round to be over so that we can get to these semis. But yeah, man. Yeah. Cleveland and Orlando got to figure out who's facing the Celtics, who look vulnerable with KP going to be out at least throughout the second round. So we got to see there. Clippers, Mavs, real beef. That's a rivalry right there. They've played each other over the last 3 years, I believe. I love what I'm seeing there. There's a lot of storylines intertwined. Is Kawhi going to play? Is Luka going to finish them off in another series? Who's going to step up on the Clippers side? Which James Harden are we going to get? This is what we got to deal with. Minnesota and Denver about to kick off the semis as well. And OKC is waiting for their opponent. So yeah, man, we've gotten I think by far this has been the best series over the last few years. Definitely non-finals edition, but I think about Utah, Denver in the bubble. I think about 2016 NBA Finals. I think about this series. Y'all let me know if y'all have any other series that you thinking of. But yeah, this was a conference finals feel in the first round. And of course, it's because of the circumstance, right? Because of Embiid getting hurt and they dropped from 2nd to 7th. They should have never been a 7th seed. They probably would have been top 4 at best, at worst, if Embiid was still around. And we got that. It was similar to Knicks Heat in 99 in that the lockout shortened season where the Knicks ended up being the 8th seed, but they were way better than the 8th seed. Is just at that point in the season, they would have had to work to get up out of the 8th seed, but they started the playoffs and they played the Heat, who was the number 1 seed. And that went the whole 5 games. And you know, Allen Houston sent them boys home with a game-winning shot. That was an intense series, a tense first-round series that had the making of a conference finals, especially given the rivalry that was between Miami and New York. Yeah, man. This was one for the record books, and I'm glad. I ain't gonna front on y'all. I'm glad we came out the winners, because I would have had to give it up and say this was a great first-round series and a classic first-round series, but I would have been pissed if they lost, because Game 5 would have haunted me for a while. For a while. Like some of the other losses in Knicks history, that one would have haunted me for a very long time, because I knew they had their ticket punched and they were ready to go. They were 1 foot into the second round, and that door got shut on their foot. They probably broke a pinky toe. But that's what it was. And that's what it is. Knicks are going to the second round. Knicks fans, enjoy your moment. Enjoy a stress-free weekend, all right? What's going on with my camera? Let's see if we can get there. There we go. Knicks fans, enjoy a stress-free weekend. And get ready for the second round. And thank you so much for tapping in with me on the pickup game. Doing this weekly. Going to be talking about the NBA playoffs. Had to come back. Had to get on live to talk my Knicks talk. New York forever. You already know the vibes. Oh, one more thing before I go. If you seen my vlog, you know I said we collect trophies, man. We there we go. We collect trophies. This is our trophy. We went into Philly for the love and for Game 6. When y'all go to these other arenas, y'all collect your trophies, man. Y'all collect y'all trophies. Collect all your trophies. You mount it on your wall like it's a deer head. That's what we do. Indiana, you up next. You up next. I cannot wait, because this is now the New York Knicks revenge tour. For all of the media narratives and all of that, this team is going to handle business, and I can't wait. Regardless what the outcome is, this team is maybe proud. They have a path to the conference finals, and they need to meet that path, to meet the rubber at the road. You heard? That's what we going to do. That's what we going to do. So before we get out of here, I want to say thank y'all for all the support that I've had building this channel, building this audience, talking sports and culture with y'all. We hit 1,000 subscribers. That was my year goal, and we hit that legit at the end of April, the very end of April. In exactly 4 months, we hit that. So thank y'all so much for the support. If you're watching this on Twitter and you're not subscribed, do me a favor. Go over to youtube.com/JeffJSays. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that alert so that you know when I'm coming through and when I'm posting. I'm going live. I'm creating videos for on demand too. We're talking sports. I'm dipping into the culture bag soon. If you're a pro wrestling fan, I'm gonna start talking that on this channel as well. Definitely some culture. I'm about the audience. I'm about the people. If there's something within the world of sports and culture that you want to talk about, we're also getting our betting game up too. Bet on Black, another show on here where we're going to be talking definitely during the football season. We may tap in for this NBA talk, because there's a lot of money to be made, and I did all right. You know what I'm saying? I did all right. I say that I did all right, but we gonna do that. All right. So yeah, man. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for tapping in for me. Best thing you could do for me is tell a friend to tell a friend about the Jeff J Says YouTube channel. Like, comment, subscribe, share this. Like the video if you love what you're hearing. And we are going to be back. We're going to be back next week. We're going to continue to cover the Knicks. We're going to continue to cover the whole NBA playoffs. I got a whole cast of cool people lined up to come chop it up with us and talk about these games, man. It's interesting times. It's interesting times. So let me go recuperate. Let me get some food. Let me get ready for the rest of the day. Support all the Knicks content creators doing amazing stuff out there. And if you are one of them, keep going 1 foot in front of the other. You already know the vibes. That's how we do it. So until next time, I am Jeff Johnson. This is the Pickup Game. This is the Jeff J Says YouTube channel. Till next time, talk to you soon.